and starting with you, Felicia. How have you lasted this long in your industry? And what are some pitfalls you have had to overcome?
Well, I think being a person of color and female and what is traditionally a pretty homogeneic industry has presented a set of challenges. But for me, what I've always sort of strove for is what I call sort of the 3 Ps. It's sort of preparation, precision, and performance. There's nothing like a little performance that we'll get. You pull a job in, you get it done, you keep it at budget, and the recognition typically comes along the way. So, those are the sort of things that I try to stand behind. It is not easy. I know that the field is opening up quite a bit these days, which is wonderful. I think the ability of folks to sort of recognize that, again, that the skill, the talent, and the capacity is out there, and it's really just about being given that opportunity. So it's a very good time, I think, to be either dipping your toe into real estate or making a deeper play into the industry.
And we'll have Mega also piggyback on what she asked what she just said.
Yeah, I think the thing that drew me to real estate, and I think what's kept it challenging and interesting, is the wide array of knowledge you need to put a deal together. I came from one very specific, technical background. There are so many other people that are required for some of these deals. I mean, we hire dozens and dozens of consultants who are all, experts in their field. And I've tried to stay like a student of this work, because there's so many people who know more than me, and really at the end of the day, I'm a generalist. So that's what keeps it kind of exciting for me and keeps me wanting to learn. I think obviously I echo everything Felicia said. Doing your best work but also I think you have to enjoy what you do if you're going to work 60 hours a week, which I'm getting hopefully to the end of in my life generally. But if you're going to work that hard, you have to find the thread in it that makes it enjoyable for you. And so that's what makes it enjoyable for me, is that every day my job is a challenge. I'm learning something new. I get to work with some of the people who are best in class in their job. And that's really exciting. That's kind of what the bridge that takes me from starting a project 6 years ago to not seeing it finished.
And Michael, so again, the question is, how have you lasted this long in this industry? And what are some of the pitfalls you had to overcome?
So, how have I lasted so long, guys, is being adaptable. I think it's very important that we don't come into this with a fixed mindset. You're always learning, kind of like you touched on, you're always evolving, you're always seeking truth, and you're always seeking to be better. And I think that's really what's allowed me to thrive. Early on in my career, I was very gung-ho, very aggressive, very alpha male. I can do this on my own. And the reality is it takes a team, especially if you want to scale. There's an old African proverb that says, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And so that's really what I've done, is really built a team of support around me through my office manager, through my assistants, through coworkers and other brokers who work with me on deals, as opposed to trying to take on the world all on my own. And, early on, you get a lot of people questioning you as a young agent coming into the space, especially being an agent of color. How did you get this listing? I'm like, do you ask everybody that? You know what I mean? But, those are the things you have to deal with, and you have to keep your composure. You have to keep it professional. I got it the same way you would get it, through cold calling, through networking, and all the things that we do to earn business. And I think what's allowed us to really grow is really looking at different strategies that allow us to differentiate ourselves. And so what we do is we really look deep in the data, and we find the buyers in the market. And, when we find buyers who are buying multiple properties, we work with a handful of clients. This is more of a boutique style at MIG, but we find their model. We really, learn it. We know it like the back of our hand. We can do it very quickly, and we source deals specific to what they're purchasing. And these are guys buying $50 million, $100 million worth of real estate per year. And so I think being adaptable and being innovative is is really what's allowed us to not only grow but thrive, through these difficult market conditions. And I'm very confident we're going to continue to do so because, again, we've committed to being adaptable.
What can I add to what has already been said? Continue to learn, have the right team around you, all great points. I think one of the biggest challenges that I had in my own personal career was I started off on the technical side. I started off as an analyst, and I was a senior analyst for a long time before I moved into origination and getting involved in direct production. And by spending well over 10 years as an analyst, I kind of had my head down. I learned all the technical aspects of putting together the deal. But by the time my head popped up and I was ready to get into production, I hadn't built my network. And I kind of ignored that in the younger days of my career. So there's one piece of advice that I could tell people, especially young people as they're entering the industry. One, find a mentor who really cares and is involved in you and your success. And two, always be networking. Always build your network, nurture your network so that it's there for you and will pay off in the end. And the other piece of advice, and it might be a little bit late at this point, but when times are good, save so that you have that staying power when times when times turn, you can stay and you'll be there for your clients and be there at the end. When other people might have to exit the industry, they can no longer be there and you'll be around.
Awesome. And I can definitely attest to everything that everyone has said in this business because, for the most part, if you're not cash flowing in this business, you're not in business, right? So from the investor side or from the broker side. So I love what everyone had to say.